Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our live tarot session for July 7th, 2024. It's so good to be here with you all. Let's give a quick shout out to the chat. Laura Lell, great to see you. John P. Ryan Graham, love to see you. Beatnik Bulba, Valerie Poitner, Mother Rhea, love seeing you. Christy, good to see you. Hello. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you all for joining me. This is going to be a great day. We're going to do a little bit of a shorter session because there is a special event happening at 8 p.m. tonight. I'm going to be getting together with Dr. Ammon, as well as my good friend Neil, Gnostic Informant, and my good friend Dion. And we're going to be having a roundtable discussion about Liber and Libertas, the Dionysus and what's her name? Eleutheria equivalents from the Greek gods. And we're going to be talking about the foundations of America and liberty and magic. And it's going to be a really fun stream. So I hope that you guys tune in later to see that. So for our tarot reading today, what I want to first address is the astrology. We do have an interesting shift today. We have the the moon moving into Leo. And this is really beautiful energy. This is that confident energy. This is that profound energy in that divine, intuitive feminine, right? And this is about being confident, being in this power of the self, connecting in that way and doing the work. When I was thinking about what I was going to talk about for today and I was meditating on the title, I was looking through some various art blogs and I found this beautiful painting. If you wish to see, go take a look at the thumbnail. And you'll see that there's a princess on a throne, and then she's being talked to by a queen behind her, and then there are two birds in the corners. And I thought this was just really, really beautiful, and it really spoke to me. And it's really, to me, of this kind of embodying the queen, but also embodying this moon in Leo. The queen is the one who moves in flow. She gives and receives. She receives from the divine, and then she gives freely to her children. You know, she's the one who can hear the sound of the birds, can hear that bird song and make sense of it, you know, and the birds have the secrets to the universe, right? Divination in the ancient Greek was learning to listen to the birds and to watch their flight patterns. You know, there's deep magic here. And in this moon in Leo, it's really about embodying this energy, being this person who can move and flow, who can give and receive, and is confident to do so, who can hear and can speak, you know, and you have to embody both of that. And it's a power that can be really taken up. That's what really makes the queen, those who can do that. All right, we're now going to hop over to our sortes. We're going to keep it classic today, go to some of my favorites. All right, we're going to start with Edgar Allan Poe, The Complete Works. All right. And for those of you unaware, we do the sortes. This is a form of bibliomancy, that is divination via literature. And it comes out of the Greco-Roman tradition. And what we do is we ask the muses to guide our hand, and we draw a line at random, and then we read it. And that is our inspired message. All right, so muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Edgar Allan Poe? How do we best move and flow? What do we take going forward? And the treatment. What was the particular species of treatment which the leader of the rebels put into operation? Why, as for that, a madman is not necessarily a fool, as I have observed. And it is my honest opinion that his treatment, which much better treatment than that which it superseded. Oh, wow. Isn't that wild? Interesting. Okay. Why, as for that, a madman is not necessarily a fool. This is another really interesting line. And it's funny because I'm going to be talking later about Dionysus, and Dionysus is the god of madness. And, you know, Foolhardiness is not the same as madness. These are two very different things. The first time you see Dionysus referred to as mad is in Homer, right? It's in the Iliad, and he's said to be the one who is with the nursemaids, mad Dionysus of the nursing mothers. But it's like he's that madness of childbirth and creation, the madness of life, right? The foolhardiness of pursuing death, I guess. But these are different things. Interesting. And then the stock of treatment. How do you treat the leader of rebels? Oh, that's interesting. Well, the author believes whatever treatment they received was better than they deserved. Interesting message from the muses. Take from that what you will. All right, beautiful. All right, we're now going to hop over to Lord Byron, selected poetry and letters. Okay, muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Lord Byron? All right, how do we move in flow? What do we take today? Okay. That is the usual method, but not mine. My way is to begin with the beginning. The regularity of my design forbids all wandering as the worst of sinning. And therefore I shall open with a line, and narrating somewhat of Don Juan's father, and also of his mother, if you'd rather. My way is to begin with the beginnings. The regularity of my design forbids all wandering as the worst of sinning. And therefore I shall open with a line. Wow. I think the message here is that these cycles repeat and they are echoes of each other, right? And they follow a pattern. There is a usual method. And it begins with the beginning and it ends with an ending. And it opens with a poetic line. Interesting. Think about how that may apply to your personal life and to our world at large, I guess. Okay, we're now going to hop to Watch Fiends and Rack Screams, the final period of Antonin Artaud, gifted to me by the dear Graham. Thank you, Graham, for this, making this an even more magical text. All right, muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Artaud? Inspire us. That it was because all people believed me to be this man, suspected me of being this body, had identified me as being this body of a man from where all life came out, and in prevention from being this body in which everyone always served himself without using entrance or exit, and felt capable of supplying himself, and which he believed could be used to answer all his needs, and prevention from being this body, charged to provide for all the needs, and pillaged to the point of plaguery. For there is no plague, nor cholera, smallpox, nor syphilis, that the succubate, well organized, cannot explain. Holy crumb. Amazing. Artaud puts it so eloquently. People didn't see Artaud, they saw the body. And then they didn't even see his body, they saw the man. And then when they see the man, they see themselves. And then when they see themselves, they see the power to define the universe and to exploit it to their own ends. Holy. I'm going to read that one more time. All right. That it was because all people believed me to be this man, suspected me of being this body, had identified me as being this body of a man from where all life came out, and in prevention from being this body in which everyone always served himself, without using entrance or exit, and felt capable of supplying himself, and which he believed could be used to answer all his needs, in prevention from being this body, charged to provide for all the needs, and pillaged to the point of plaguery. For there is no plague, no cholera, smallpox, nor syphilis that the succubate, well organized, cannot explain. Oh my gosh. Our problems are man-made, are they not? And we understand them. Why can't we prevent them? Interesting. All right, let us continue. We're going to hop over to Euripides' 10 plays. This has some of the best plays Euripides wrote. Alcestis, Medea, Hippolytus, Andromache, Iphigenia among the Taurians, Iphigenia at Aulis. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Euripides is one of the greats. Must read. All right. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Euripides? Why, even the draft horse, separated from his old partner in the yoke, will pull reluctantly. Wow. Why, even the draft horse, separated from his old partner in the yoke, will pull reluctantly. You know, you can't separate families. You can't separate lovers, you know. You want to cause a ruckus. You want to cause a fight. Try to set a division between a family. Oof. They're not going to be doing any work now, are they? All right. Interesting moral to think on, though. Let us hop over to Boccaccio, one of the greats of the Renaissance, the Decameron. All right. Very interesting novel, set in plague times. Interesting with Artaud's plaguery. All right. Muses, guide my hand. What is the inspiration? What is the message from Boccaccio? I should say that were it possible for you to strengthen the bond which attaches me to you, then assuredly you had done so. And in that you restored to me which I cherish more tenderly than myself, and in such a guise as in some measure to renew within me the hope which I had lost. More I could not say. Wow. That's a beautiful sentiment. Let me read that one more time. I should say that were it possible for you to strengthen the bond which attaches me to you, then assuredly you had done so. In that you restored to me which I cherish more tenderly than myself, and in such a guise as in some measure to renew within me the hope which I had lost. More I cannot say. Wow. You rekindled the love and brought back the spark. You gave me hope. What does love provide but hope and the ability to persist, to persist in generation? Dionysus in its pure form. Wow. Love it. Okay. We're going to hop over to Chapman's Homer. All right. Muses, what is the message? Help us be inspired. For here the wooling Scylla shrouds her face, that breathes a voice at all parts no more base. Wow. Wow. The shrouding and hiding of the face, right? In shame. This is something that is deeply profound and needs to be overcome. This is at the root of what tragedy is, right? What is the power of the muse and the power of love? It is in that gaze. It is in the perception of the other, right? If you shroud your face and you remove your gaze, right, you are denying your power. You are removing yourself from life. You're submitting to depression. Oof. Wow. Think on that. Intense. All right. We are now going to hop to our Thoth Tarot of Lady Frida Harris and Aleister Crowley. All right. We are going to do the Saturn Square, where we invoke the spirit of Saturn Kronos. And we ask him to dissect our life, to cut it up on the plate, and to show us our conflicts and how we best move and flow. How do we overcome the obstacles? How do we manifest our true will? Two cards shot out at me. The first and most important, the Hermit. Wow. The Hermit. I deeply resonate with this card. This card is, in many ways, the Virgo card. Anyone with strong Virgo should recognize this energy. This is also the energy of that Saturnian father, right? The hand, right? And also that mother, Demeter, right? The one who goes and searches for her lost daughter in the darkness with that lantern. You know, what is the Hermit truly about? It is about going into the self, taking time out and reflecting upon the self, making those deep, deep reflections, you know, really examining and being critical, asking, where did I make mistakes? How do I overcome? Where do I go from here? You know, this is that magic of Eleusis, right? What is written on the walls of Eleusis but know thyself? This is going into the cave and doing that hard work of transformation. Okay. Wow. And on the other side, what we're seeing is that this is an energy which is interesting. Dominion, power, the two in that powerful energy of the wands, right? This is that passionate energy that can go either way, to love or to violence, right? But you are in the mastery. You are in control. Your will just needs to be directed. Where do you direct this energy? It's going to grow and it's going to expand. Let's see. Wow. Yeah. What I'm seeing here is that there's all this ability and profound power that is manifesting, but there is a deep harshness that needs to be confronted still. There is a deep personal wound that is leading to this cycle of ruin, right? We're ending this cycle, and we're ending this cycle by engaging that power of the Hermit, by reflecting upon this and saying, what is the wound? Why are we overthinking things in such a profound way? Why are we continuing to self-sabotage? Why can't we use our power for external growth? Why do we keep going internal? You know, there's something that needs to be engaged with here, something that only the Hermit can reflect upon. Interesting. Yeah. Connected to that Hermit is this Queen of Logic, right? The Queen of Swords, the ultimate teacher, right? The Queen of Swords is the one who builds up her kin in that logical way, who protects and defends with her wisdom. You know, with this energy connected to the Hermit, they're seeing that there needs to be a confrontation. In order to heal this overthinking, there needs to be an internal confrontation, right? The Queen must take the battle inwards, and she must reflect upon herself and ask, where is this ruin coming from? Wow. This is a part of wish fulfillment energy, right? This is part of the transformation. In order to draw down that star, in order to gain that divine Venus energy, there must be this transformation. You know, there must be this confrontation, this hermitage, this going into the self, and this overcoming of this overthinking, right? And this is coming about because you asked for this, right? This is a process in which you have engaged. You are seeking those waters, and you are going through the process of divine imitation. You know, you are confronting the self. That is beautiful. Wow. But again, even as you are doing it and you're showing up in this logical way, there's still so much overthinking. You know, cruelty is showing up, right? Connected to that Queen of Swords is preventing, right? It's causing this inaction. Too much thought can cause inaction, right? You want to have your thought balanced in reason and science in the 6. In the 9, this is extreme overthought, leading to cruelty. And then down there with the Hermit, it's become a ruin, you know? Wow. It's almost as if we've been pursuing this witch from such a single-minded, logical perspective, right? With such force, that it is leading to this explosion. You know, interesting, because that feminine cannot, even though you're showing up with this feminine energy, right? That divine feminine, like this, the Venus, is beyond reason, right? It challenges that reason. Reason can only get you so far here, right? You need to draw her into the self and then reason her out. But if you approach her with pure reason, it'll never make sense. And you will always doubt yourself. Let's continue. Wow. What comes as a result of that queen taking the hermitage but this grand success? We've been seeing this over the last few days, the wealth and the success, the material fruits of our labors coming to fruition. But there still is a contingent upon this, right? In order to manifest this vast material success, there must be a confrontation of the self. There must be a taking of responsibility and an overcoming of this overthinking. You know, the overthinking is the issue here at hand, right? What brings success? It's the peace, the mental peace, letting all of that conflict go, right? Letting it go and learning to move and flow. What is true peace? True peace is not stagnation. True peace is to move in flow, right? See where this is going. Yeah. We're still seeing this energy of the indolence, fighting and bickering, people coming and expecting love when you have no love to give, right? The 4 of cups here in the center are flowing. They're freely giving and receiving. But then there is another 4 with nothing to give, yet they want. And the world around is desolate and it is needy. But these 4 can only go in flow. You can only give to those who also, like, it must be reciprocal. It must be reciprocal, you know? And it hurts to be around all of this kind of needy energy. But how do you feed and help this needy energy? You have to be at peace with this. You have to be at peace with this. The fact that there are always going to be those kind of people, right? Those kind of expectations. And you're going to have to just let it go and learn to trust and rely on that foundation. And if you can trust and rely on that foundation, that's where that success is coming in. You know? All right. Before I flip my camera, I would ask if you could all give me a like and a subscribe. It really does make a big difference. It does boost me in the algorithm. And if you are interested in a private reading, you can message me at snappydts@gmail.com. Or you can message me on the Myth and Lore Discord, Snappy or Lady Snappy. All right. Let us pop this down here for you all. And we'll take a look at our full square. Okay, starting here. Yeah. The key to this dominion here is the dominion is the power. If we can put our passion, our loving passion that we have, this energy, this ability, if we can use this to manifest peace, we draw down the star. We can bring about this beautiful fulfillment of our wishes. Wow. Let's hop over here, right? The key to that success, as we're saying, right, is embodying this logical queen, but also taking the time out, right? The queen, you know, what I'm seeing is that there's almost too much thinking, actually. The queen needs to let things go, and maybe this energy needs to change. But for now, she needs to take this trip and apply that logic to her heart, right? And figure out where this is going, how to manifest the success. Okay. When we hop over here, we see that 9 evolving into a 10, into this ruin, this overthinking running its course. And it's all connected to this indolence energy, right? Sometimes you need to not engage. Sometimes you need to remove yourself from this kind of toxicity. You know, sometimes discord causes discord. I don't know what to say, right? Interesting. Let us continue. We're now going to check our crosses. So our first cross, right? We have the hermit overcoming the cruelty of the nines and manifesting that peace by self-reflection, learning to see where this cruelty is coming from, learning to allow it to run its course and to be in that flow, to make that hard critical decisions within the self, and to take responsibility for one's own thought and to manifest peace. That's a beautiful, intense energy. And you can do it if you take that time to sit amongst the self, to really reflect upon yourself and to acknowledge where these thoughts are coming from and to see that you are your worst enemy and to re-engage with the world in a peaceful way, you know? And then the other thing here, we have this wish fulfillment, the hermit, and that indolence, right? Part of fulfilling our wish is bringing in this indolence. And it's bringing in this need to confront this hermit. What I'm seeing here is that the star, often when we wish for something and we want to connect to that goddess, part of that wish is for love. And it is for connection, you know? And when you wish for love and connection, you bring in that energy, that needy energy, you know? And the Virgo energy is that energy of being alone, who has a hard time connecting, right? Has a hard time being in that flow, right? And this is that divine energy of the waters, Aquarius. So she's bringing that love in this way. So what I'm seeing here too is that eventually this hermit energy can't last either. You're going to have to learn how to move and flow. You're going to have to learn how to deal with this kind of indolence energy, because this kind of needy, loving energy is not going anywhere. And you asked for this, right? So you're either going to have to learn to rely on those 4 cups, or going to have to learn to figure out a way to share love more freely with those who need around you. But there are ways in which this energy can be handled. And I'm seeing it's through that peace and through that success that you're going to be able to do this. Interesting energy. Wow. Lots to think on. But the key here right now is to manifest this will towards peace, to go into that inner self and to reflect upon this cruelty and this ruin. There's a lot of deep personal wounds here, a lot of pain that is holding one back from their own success, their own wish fulfillment, which is here in abundance, in their own power. You are in control. You have the power. You have the ability. You just need to allow yourself to win. All right. That's the message. All right. I hope that was helpful for you all. Beautiful, beautiful energy. Okay. We're going to do one final sortes, and then we're going to call it a night. So for our final sortes, I think we're going to go back to Mr. Artaud. Artaud was the most profound for me. So we're going to bring back Artaud. All right. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message? All right. Who eat peyote straight from the soil while it is born, and who kill the sun in order to establish the kingdom of black night, and who split the cross so that the spaces of space will never again meet or cross. In this way, you will hear the dance of the Tutuguri. Who eat peyote straight from the soil while it is born, and who kill the sun in order to establish the kingdom of black night, and who split the cross that the spaces of space will never again meet or cross. In this way, you will hear the dance of the Tutuguri. Wow. Intense message, right? Who kill the sun in order to establish the kingdom of the black night. For those with ears to hear, all I will say is that we mourn the death of Adonis. All right, beautiful people. Thank you so much. This was fun. I hope you all come and join me for our live stream at 8 o'clock with Dr. Ammon and Neil of Gnostic Informant and Dion, where we're going to be diving deep into Liber and Libertas and America. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Peace and love. Take care.